And welcome to another episode of Science Zodcast. Okay, so before you turn away and think that I'm like a big giant digital flake, let me explain why it's been a couple weeks since I have done a podcast. I have a good excuse. I've basically been in and out of the hospital for the last 2 or 3 weeks with some different infections that I won't go into detail on, but I'm doing much better now, and while I was in the hospital, I was very high on prescribed medication that did not necessarily have all of my mental faculties in place at all times. Being said, I decided to just wait until I was feeling a little bit better and home to continue with the Zodcast journey that we all are on. So, that being said, I'm back, feeling better, and let's move forward, okay? This week I want to talk about something really important to me, and important to many other people in this country, and that is the Me Too movement. You know, if anything has come out of, let me start over. If anything positive has come out of this last couple years under the Trump administration, is that women and men, but women primarily, have found the courage and the intense bravery to come forward and expose a big problem that has been a cultural problem here in the States since the beginning of time. And it always in the past has been swept under the rug and ignored. And I just wanted to take a minute and express how proud I am of the women that I know personally and the ones that I don't know at all for having the strength to come forward and say enough is enough, that this kind of behavior, regardless of what kind of behavior it is, whether if it's an innocent flirt to an unwanted sexual advance to flat out sexual abuse, everything under that umbrella is wrong. It's just wrong. And I think for the first time in history, the women's movement as a whole has achieved another level of strength and empowerment, and that opportunity to put fear and shame aside and say, I am not alone, that others believe me, and it's true. I'll be honest, I am an individual who never personally underwent any kind of unwanted sexual abuse as a child or as an adult. But that doesn't negate the point that I am so proud of those who I know very intimately to the ones I don't know at all, to step forward and say enough is enough. So, I'm not going to go on a big rant about, I'm not going to get on a big soapbox about any specific thing. I just want to say, I believe you. I believe what you've been through. And it's okay to come forward. That you will be believed by many other people. I'm a human being just like anyone else. And I have made so many mistakes in my past that I am not proud of. But I think life is about learning and living through that learning and learning through living. And I have a newfound respect for, it's not newfound respect, it's more of a deeper respect for the courage and the strength that women have. And I'm not saying women are the only, only people that have been assaulted or have had unwanted sexual advances. Men get them too. But it seems like for the first time that women are taking a stand and saying, hell no, not anymore, and not to me or anyone else I love. When I was in the hospital, I had about a week of downtime where where I had a lot of opportunity to think about things in my own personal life, things that are happening in the world and within our country. And we are in a scary but yet optimistic time in history. And the Me Too movement is just one element of a possible change for the better in this country. Corruption and greed and that hierarchy that men have been expressing throughout history, that men are the stronger sex, is complete and utter bullshit. It totally is. I was raised by women. I have a mother and 2 sisters, and that's one thing I can say I'm thankful for getting as a young child, that my mother instilled in me, was that no matter what happens in your life, you always show respect to women. You never disrespect them, because they deserve as equal of opportunity as you do in life. And it's true. And I'm very thankful for having that taught to me as a kid, and throughout my teens, and even throughout my 20s. I had to be reminded that women are not sex objects. Women are human beings just like anyone else. And, I'm not going to apologize for being a red-blooded male who loves women, but I am going to say that there's always room to grow and to learn and to step outside the box of your normal way of thinking and find a new way of thinking. So, that being what it is, I really wanted to touch on that because it is so prominent right now. It's so important. And it may sound like, beating a horse to death, for lack of better expressions. But in the idea of reminding people constantly that they are believed and they are accepted for who they are and what they've been through can't be any more empowering. All of these multiple indictments coming out right now of people of all kinds, but really what's getting the news is the high-profile people. R. Kelly and, Donald Trump and all of his rich, greedy friends who think that their power allows them the opportunity to take advantage of other people is okay, and it's not. It's not okay. And for the first time in history, that's being exposed. And I believe it'll continue to be exposed. And for those who have made mistakes in the past, it's not too late to own up to them. You don't have to do it publicly, but as long as you try to make amends and take responsibility, then I think that's what makes us human. And that's what makes us learn from each other. I just found out recently that somebody very, very close to me in my personal life was assaulted as a child. And it broke my heart in a new way, because for the first time, my family was touched by that kind of behavior that I had no knowledge of in the past. Before about 2 months ago, I had no idea that it had touched my personal family. And my heart broke even more for the way women have been treated for so long. And, you know, I'm saddened by it, but I'm proud of the fact that things appear as though they've taken a change, a historical change. And it's incredible. And I only hope that the momentum keeps up. All it takes is one voice to step up and say, hey, I know you really, really well, and I love you, and you are believed. Or some complete stranger, some complete stranger. Just go up and say, hey, I believe you. What's it gonna hurt, right? I mean, it only takes a minute. And even though that person may or may not know what you're talking about, you know what you're talking about. And you know in your heart that you have expressed that sentiment. It might change somebody's life. You never know. It may absolutely turn somebody's life around. The power of the human will is incredibly, incredibly powerful. And you never know what kind of lives you might change just by a simple gesture or a simple comment. So, on a lighter note, I wanted to suggest a couple movie titles that I've seen recently being in and out of the hospital. Again, having a lot of downtime on my hands. First movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, the biopic about the rock band Queen and Freddie Mercury, and really the life of Freddie Mercury, and how the band came into formation. Now, normally I don't like movies about rock bands, just because it doesn't hold my interest. But this one really did. A, because I'm a Queen fan, and B, I learned a lot of stuff about Freddie Mercury that I never knew before. The actor that plays him actually got an Oscar last night for that role. And it just, when you watch the movie, if you take a still shot of the actor and a still shot of the real Freddie Mercury, you can't tell them apart. It's freaking eerie. It's amazing. Anyway, it's a great movie. Totally suggested. It's just enjoyable from beginning to end. The other movie is called Widows. It's a all-female, not all-female, but the main characters are all female. And, man, it's a kick-ass movie. It's very female empowerment, like girl, she-woman type movie. But it's really well done, and I highly suggest that one too. Other than that, that's been what's going on this week. Stay tuned next week. This current week is going to be really busy in politics and the news in general. So next podcast could be pretty interesting. So we'll see you then. Have a good week. And please remember, be kind to each other, because we depend on each other. Take care.